Welcome back to Squaw Valley, California. A beautiful day here in Squaw. Summertime, temperature 70 degrees. It's going to be a great one for the Tahoe Fat Tire Festival. Today's program is being brought to you by Airwalk Footwear and by Paul Mitchell Professional Salon Products. Steve Moss along with David Stanfield. You're looking at the start of the Red Dog Gravity Downhill. We've attached a point of view camera to Tom Ways, our fastest qualifier. Let's take a look.
Here we are, Squaw Valley, home of the Red Dog Downhill. Right at a start. Yes, it's real nice and fast. Got to set up a little inside here, a little in the rough. Looking for that good line up top. Get a good lead right away. Getting a little out of there, coming outside, working it back in, making good turns here. Right here is one of the toughest turns of the course, real nice and steep. Really want to get that front end to stick. Can't be using those brakes at all. Right here you got a little pedaling section, little scree slope. Settling here with a little bit of tuck. Okay, ready for a big right-hander into a fast straightaway. Set up far outside. Back in, let off, back up to speed. Right here, braking early, downshift, little counter steer, clip back in. This is, I think, where the race is going to be won and lost. Right here, if you're off the front or in second position drafting, going to be in a real good place to sit up and try to take the win. Way outside, brake early. Little slide. Stay up the hay bales. Back down the 11. Back up to speed. Right here, you gotta be in the front. Fast is gonna be real tough from here down. And taking the win.
Tom Ways, great run. Number one qualifier yesterday. Let's go back now to the top. We've got quarterfinal action, first heat. That's Aaron Hoagland, Mike Galota, and Danny Martinez. The fourth member of the moto didn't make it to the start. That's Greg Gesford. So we've got a three-man moto in heat number one. Hoagland, Galota, and Martinez.
Now we should make note that Aaron Hoagland out of Amador County, California, qualified 21st in the sport class. He's a sport rider, not an expert, not a pro, and he's up against some big boys, especially Danny Martinez. He is very aggressive, and he's got the lead right now.
Martinez likes to get out first. He said he doesn't like to breathe the dust, David, and so he's been out in front all day long. He's had a win earlier in the round of 32. We're in the 16 now.
Well, I asked him about, is it a contact sport when there are 3- and 4-man motos, and he says, well, it's not supposed to be, but if anybody's in my way, they better give me some room.
Right here's turn 4. It's very slick, very marbly, everybody's told us, and a lot of accidents have happened in this, so they really have to slow down. It's a fall-away turn, Dave. It's a tough one.
It's called papoose, and yes, a lot of the riders say that is the most difficult. The key here is maintaining your speed, get the momentum, do not use the brakes, and if you are going to use the brakes, brake on the straightaway before you go into the turns because you want to slide through the turns nice and smooth.
Coming down the straightaway now, they're reaching speeds up to 50 miles an hour. They're coming into a right-hand turn, which will lead them right down into a hairpin turn, which is a tough one there, Dave, to make. especially after they've come down this track here at high speeds.
There's a water bar right there, the big divot in the road. That is for water drainage runoff across this access road. Very difficult. The suspension, oh boy, it comes into full use on this course.
We had a chance to ask Danny what motivates him in this downhill. Here's what he had to say.
Fear is a motivating thing. I've hit the ground at 50+ miles an hour. Do not want to do it again. So fear factor is me riding behind people I don't trust. I don't trust anyone. So I want to be out in front. So if I'm out in front, there'll be no fear. But if I'm in the back, there might be a little something. Try to block it out of the back of my mind because it's not good.
Well, Danny says to win this downhill, you got to get the whole shot and do not look back. That's what he's doing. He has got a comfortable lead in this quarterfinal heat.
He's leading over Mike Galetta coming into turn 7. They'll be rounding a big sweeping turn into turn 8. Right here is a lot of speed. These guys pick up a lot of speed. Don't have to pedal much on this course. It's very fast, Dave.
Danny Martinez, 25 years old, Woodacre, California, a professional mountain bike racer in the summer, and in the winter he's a carpenter. And take a look at that line on the inside.
So Martinez is holding the line. Let's mention that the top 2 in each of these heats will advance into the semis. So right now, it looks like if everything holds true, Danny Martinez and Mike Galetta will go ahead and move into the semifinals unless something happens here on this single track, Dave.
The KT-22 chicane leads right into the single track into the Searchlight Bend, and now into the finish line. There's the single track at lots of speed there. Very dangerous.
Very dangerous, Dave. Right into the finish line from the single track. Danny Martinez, he will take the win in Heat 1, and Mike Galetta will take second. Those two will move on. Aaron Hoagland will have to wait until next year. All right, we'll be back with more quarterfinal action from the Red Dog Gravity Downhill when we return. Stay with us.
There's no question in NFL history that the San Francisco 49ers were the team of the decades for the 1980s. Only 5 players on those Niner teams have 4 Super Bowl rings. We'll sit down with one of them, All-Pro linebacker Keena Turner, this week on Sports Channel Spotlight.
He was tough, and for a lot of years didn't like him. And we joke about it now, but he had an interesting way of motivation.
Sports Channel Spotlight, Friday at 6:30.
We're very fortunate to have such a wonderful family.
After his operation, his body was like twice the normal size. He was on this respirator for 3 weeks. It was kind of lonely around here.
I got Aflac through our company. The owner of the company felt that we should have it. It turned out fabulous.
Aflac Insurance helps fill the gaps other insurance doesn't cover, so you can get on with life.
Everything worked out wonderful.
I don't know what the story is. The garage is made for the car. Why do dogs and all the junk from the house live in the garage? Why is that? Everybody on the whole street's like that. There's nothing in there that anybody's used in at least 5 years. And what's even worse is I don't even get the high-octane fuel that I'm designed for. Like Chevron Supreme with Techron. You're just like, you're nothing.
No premium outperforms Chevron Supreme with Techron. Chevron, simply smarter.
It's a pathetic existence, you know.
Welcome back to Squaw Valley, California for the 9th annual Tahoe Fat Tire Festival. Quarterfinal action, second heat. That's Jody Cortez, Joe Stanish, Jason Warren, and Craig Raza. Red Dog Gravity Downhill set to go second heat, Dave.
This should be a good one. Very unusual heat here because we only have 1 pro racing, 3 expert riders. Jason Warren out of Fremont, California, first race as an expert, and he qualified second fastest among all the sport riders, the expert riders, and the pros. Right now he's trying to pull a lead. He is wearing red.
So Jason Warren right now and Craig Raza are really close, neck and neck. That's Warren out in front of Raza. And then you've got Stanish and Cortez. Cortez now in third place. Jason Warren around turn number 3. Very slick right there, David. That's where a lot of problems have happened. Also, look right there as well, turn 4.
Well, turn 3 they call troublemaker. Turn 4 papoose after the ski run here. There goes a rider off, Steve.
Jody Cortez is down, so we have 3 riders now. Cortez, if he doesn't get back up, will end up out of the competition. Good battle for first and second, Dave. Jason Warren, Craig Raza.
You're right, 1 rider goes down in papoose. Now they're on Red Dog Ridge, heading to turn number 5, Heidi's Hairpin.
Good racing action here. That's Jason Warren in the white helmet. He's out in the lead over Craig Raza. In the back, you can see Joe Stanish. We had a chance to talk with Jason Warren about adrenaline and what it does for him and how he reacts on this downhill course.
As far as me and adrenaline, I couldn't live without it. In everyday life, being on a football team or a baseball team, to me, just isn't appealing, because you can play your best 100% and the team's playing 50 and you're going to lose. And when you're out here riding, you're going down the hill, that's all you feel is adrenaline. That's my experience anyhow.
Both of these riders, Dave, Craig Raza and Jason Warren, all they have to do is finish 1 and 2 and they move on into the semis, but they got to be careful because you never know. Joe Stanish can come right up on them in this flat section leading into turns 7 and 8.
Craig Raza out of Fair Oaks, California, qualified 19th. He is currently running in second. Jason Warren, our leader out of Fremont, California. Both of them expert racers, and this is the first expert race for Jason Warren, and quite a show for him. A man that's really not a team player. He likes the adrenaline, he likes the speed, and he likes to do it himself.
All right, it's tightened up now. Jason Warren still leading. Craig Raza in second, but Joe Stanish has reeled him in, Dave.
Joe Stanish out of Milpitas, California, qualified 10th, and he does not like the 3rd position. He's going to get knocked out unless he can move into the top 2 spots, and he's in a tuck as well.
All right, into the last turn before we get into that big, long straightaway and the chicane into the single track, Dave. High speeds are met right here.
That's called the Fingers Corner because the Fingers in turn number 9 right above him, KT22 in the great ski runs. Now, the KT22 chicane into the single track and then Searchlight Bend.
A lot of rocks in here. We've seen quite a few accidents in this area, especially when people are trying to pass into this single track.
Our leader, Jason Warren, he told me earlier, play your corners safe, have a good exit speed out of the corners, and barrel down the straightaways. He has done that, and he is going to win this quarterfinal.
First 2 advance, so that's Jason Warren and Craig Raza moving on into the semis. All right, let's go back to the top now. Heat number 3, quarterfinal action. Tim Krentz, Aaron Austin, Leo Salazar, and Nick Fide. This will be a good one, Dave.
Keep your eye on Leo Salazar, bike number 8, the pro out of San Jose, California, 26 years old, wearing green. He was the 3rd fastest qualifier. For Nick Fide, number 13 on his bike, qualified 11th. They are running 1-2 right now. Gravity start down to the first turn. Turn number 2 is the upper dog leg. Turn number 3 they call troublemaker, but everybody says turn number 4, papoose, is very difficult.
We had a chance to talk with Leo about papoose. Here's what he had to say.
I think the most hair-raising turn is probably like the 4th turn down. It's an off-camber left turn, and you come out of a right turn and you're just going straight at it, and you're trying to go slow, and you're already on your brakes, and it just fades out so much. It's like really off-camber to the right, and so you're trying to make a left, and your whole body just wants to go over to the right, and you're just fighting it over here to get to the left side.
Well, he fought it well, Dave. He is in the lead over Nick Fide. These two are battling it out. Close race right here. Here's your coming and going camera. High speeds at its best.
Oh, look at that. Nick Fide really pressuring Leo Salazar along Red Dog Ridge at over 50 miles per hour. Leo takes over the lead again, but Nick Fide, well, he wants to win overall, doesn't he? He likes that overall title.
He's looking for the overall title. Really, this is one of only a few downhills he's ever entered. He says he likes it. It's high speed, and that's what he's into. Leo Salazar still in the lead. Nick Fide pressuring him as they come down this downhill portion into the hairpin. I had a chance to talk with Nick about what it'd take to win.
Key for me in the downhill is a big key for me in racing is just consistency. I just got to be consistent because it's a stage race and just be as consistent as possible in the one stage, the downhill race, and hope I don't have any major problems, crash, slide out, or not.
Right in here, Dave, is gut check time. This is the only time on the course where they have to pedal, and they have to pedal up a slight uphill before they go back downhill. It's a gut check.
Track and road racing as a junior, Nick Fide, boy, he had a lot of experience. In fact, he was a junior national champion in team pursuit, and he is pursuing right now. In fact, he's taken over the lead. And so Leo Salazar says, fine, I'll take second. I'll follow you. So it's now Nick Fide leading Leo Salazar. Nick Fide out of Austin, Texas, 22 years old. Professional cyclist in the summer and a student in the wintertime in Texas. And they are just cruising. They're so far ahead, it says, well, first and second, no problem.
They want to conserve their energy. They've got quite a few more races to go. Keep their gear and their equipment intact because this is a rough course. Into the fingers they go. And now some more speed. Leo just comes off his pedal and just about went down there for a second through the KT22 chicane right here. This gives you an opportunity to see just how much speed they're having from the helicopter. These guys are flying down here. They're landing on large rocks. It's very dangerous if you're not on top of your bike in this part of the course. Well, there's the move right there. Leo Salazar says, if anybody's ahead of me, I will attempt to pass. Right before the single track, he does. And Salazar is going to take it home for the lead in this quarterfinal, followed by Nick Fide. So Leo Salazar takes heat 3. Nick Fide comes in second. Aaron Austin, Tim Krentz round out third and fourth. Fide and Leo Salazar will be moving on into our semifinals. Coming up, more quarterfinal action as Prime's coverage of the Red Dog Gravity Downhill continues.
You into sports? I mean really into sports? Great, me too. The Big Four. You know, football, baseball, basketball, and hockey. If you're like me, you need more than the score. You need to know what's coming. Penetrating analysis of teams and players. The inside story on strategies and trade rumors. Who's hot and who's not. And why. From people out there where it's happening. Like me, week after week. And I'll even give you a great deal. We've been called the Bible of sports for over 100 years. We deliver the inside scoop on every team, on every franchise. So no matter where you live, the sporting news keeps you close to your favorite team, pro or college. Okay, here's the deal. Call the 1-800 number.
Rolling with a Ram Tough Magnum motor, get a new Dodge Ram or a new Dakota. California's truck stop. A new Dodge. California's truck stop. You can out-drive, out-hustle, out-tough, out-muscle, out-tow, out-run, out-work, and out-fun. Show them what you got.
Across California, Dodge pickups are #1 in sales growth. They have great resale value, too. Add air to Dodge Ram at no extra charge, and it's no wonder Ram is chilling the competition.
California's truck stop. The new Dodge.
Welcome back to Squaw Valley, California for the Tahoe Fat Tire Festival. We're set to go with quarterfinal action. This is fourth and final heat. Brian Walker, Alex Morgan, Tom Ways, and Brendan Figge. They're at the start. Let's go to the top. Local boy makes good. Olympic Valley, California's Tom Ways, bike number 9, qualified number 1. Alex Morgan out of Albuquerque, New Mexico, an expert rider, qualified 5th. He takes the lead. It's Alex Morgan, an unknown entity. Everybody goes, well, how fast is he? Take a look. He's got the lead right now. Meanwhile, on the right-hand side of your screen, wearing red and black, is our fastest qualifier, Tom Ways. Keep an eye on him. He's out in the bushes trying anything past Brian Walker out of Fairfax, California. In the back is Brian Figge from Huntington Beach, California, just 15 years old. Hang on, buddy. Alex Morgan still with the lead. Walker in second, Ways in third. Very critical turn coming here. You take too much speed in, and you're going to have to go outside. All these guys are a little bit hot coming into turn 4, and a lot of them are going outside, Dave. Brian Walker takes over the lead, and oh, there goes Brian Figge. The youngest competitor goes down in a heap. Hopefully he is okay. So a big change up in that turn. Troublemaker and Papoose, 2 difficult turns. Now they're on Red Dog Ridge. And the man with the hole shot is now in 3rd. Brian Walker's leading, Tom Ways second, and Alex Morgan, he went real wide on turn 4, and now he's in 3rd place. Brian Walker, Fairfax, California, qualified number 24 position. He is wearing blue right now, being pressured by a local boy. He's got plenty of time on this track. Lives right down the street here in Olympic Valley, Tom Ways. So Brian Walker with the lead, Tom Ways in second, and Alex Morgan in 3rd. tight turn here. Now they're going to start pedaling. It's a slight downhill up into the uphill. It gets tough right here. As we mentioned earlier, Dave, it's a gut check right here.
They call it Dead Man's Gully, and if you're a peddler and you've got a big gear, you've really got to pound it. And right now, Tom Ways, the 25-year-old local boy who's been racing downhill 3 years, is somewhat drafting. Now he's looking to pass right now.
So Brian Walker is looking back over his shoulder. Tom Ways in second, but look, here comes Alex Morgan.
Alex Morgan, wearing that skin-tight downhill suit, takes everybody to the outside.
Morgan now leading, and Tom Ways gets sideways. He takes out Brian Walker, opens the door for Alex Morgan.
The riders go down in a heap, and first one back on their bike is Tom Ways. He is going to hold on to second position right now. Tough luck for Brian Walker.
Looks like Brian Walker has a little problem with his steering. His handlebars don't look right. Alex Morgan just motoring down. Looks like he'll take first, and it's a battle for second.
Qualifying in the number 5 position as an expert, Alex Morgan out of Albuquerque, New Mexico. Into the chicane, the KT22 chicane. Now into the single track. He has no problem right now.
You know, a lot of these competitors that are local or in California hadn't heard of Alex Morgan. Everybody was talking about who's the guy to beat. They thought it was Alex Morgan.
And kind of a surprise for Tom Ways, the fastest qualifier. Second place, no problem. He will transfer in this quarterfinal and move on to the semifinals. Tom Ways, Olympic Valley local. Looking back again, Brian Figge goes down. Maybe a little inexperience there. Slippery track. Here's where Tom Ways went down and took out Brian Walker.
Right there, Dave, it's just a race to who can get on their bike first, and Tom Ways did it. There's your quarterfinal results, and Alex Morgan, Tom Ways move on to the semis. As our downhillers move back to the top for semifinal action, let's take a look at Squaw Valley. Squaw Valley, the site of the 1960 Winter Olympic Games, is the 5th largest ski area in North America. It has 6 peaks, 4,000 acres of skiable terrain, and 33 lifts.
Well, Steve, in the summer, the valley turns green and you can get into the full swing of things. Or you can take a relaxing horseback ride. And rising from the valley floor, the cable car takes a scenic ride to High Camp Bath and Tennis Club, elevation 8,200 feet. And at this amazing facility, you can have your choice of ice skating or tennis, sunbathe, swim, or jacuzzi, or experience the thrill of a bungee jump. Summer or winter, Squaw Valley, USA is quite remarkable.
If you're an outdoor enthusiast, you need to visit Squaw Valley. Coming up, more Fat Tire action from the 9th annual Tahoe Fat Tire Festival. Stay with us.
Psychic Readers Network invites you to try a free sample reading right now. Listen to what these real people had to say and call now.
It was just brilliant. She picked up on a lot of just amazing things.
Well, when he said I had 2 kids, that's when I almost put the phone down. I said, what's going on, you know? So, because I didn't believe in it, so it was good.
Oh, she was so connected to me. She was right there with me, and she was fun. She was laughing, and she was just like my girlfriend.
She scared me. She was almost on the spot.
She told me 2 things that nobody could know about it.
He told me I had 2 children, and I do. And he said I had 2 grandchildren, and I do.
Well, I was a little skeptical to begin with, but they proved themselves.
Very good. Very good reading it was.
So encouraging, so uplifting, and I feel fabulous. It's like you want to get on with the rest of your life now.
These people are real. The readings are real. Call now for your free sample reading and experience it yourself for free.
Call 1-800-397-9359.
I think he's, if not the best, he's one of the best that there is in the game. If you give him the ball in the 9th inning, you got about a 99% chance of winning that game.
As far as closing goes, I mean, I'd say it's almost 100% mental. Knowing that you go out there in the 9th inning, you're going to be the GOAT or the hero in the next 5 minutes. And, you know, when you do fail, you've got to realize that, hey, tomorrow is another game.
Thank
Thank you for calling the Scudder Fund.
This is John Kirkcaldy speaking. How can I help you?
I have a few questions. Can you tell me a little bit about Scudder?
Well, we started back in 1919. A few years later, rolled out the first no-load mutual fund.
Right.
We have over 40 different mutual funds available. Scudder today manages over $100 billion in assets for...
I'm just about $100 short of that.
No commission, no sales pressure. Talk to us before you invest. Call 1-800-SCUDDER.
Welcome back to Squaw Valley, California for the 9th annual Tahoe Fat Tire Festival. Let's take a look back at yesterday and what we experienced at the Bike Magazine Trade Fair.
Hi, my name is Bowen Doxey. I'm with Sport Racks. Now that you have all your athletic equipment, you need to find a way to get it to where you want to use it. At Sport Rack, we carry multi-use racks for year-round sports. Our latest addition is the Bauer Full Access Rack, which allows you to get into the back of the vehicle, even if you have skis or bicycles mounted on the back of your car.
Hi, I'm Buck with Airwalk. Airwalk's got its roots in the skate business, but we've changed a little bit since then. We're not only in skate, we're in bike, snowboard. We've got a rad line of bike shoes coming out in the spring. Check our snowboards out, rad outerwear. We've got some good stuff. Check us out.
Hi, my name is Virginia Richards and I'm with Gary Fisher Bicycle Company. Gary Fisher started in 1976 and he was the first person to market a mountain bike. In '91, he came out with the first dual suspension bike, and today we have a Joshua entry-level bike that's about 28 pounds and it goes for $1,200. Gary Fisher is the first and the last name in mountain bikes.
Yesterday we had our Women's Pro Final Dirt Crit, and it looked like this. Jen Klisch, Kim Vanderside, Emily Goss, and Kim Dow were the finalists. Dave, what is a Dirt Crit?
Well, the Gravity Series is a Fat Tire Festival innovation which encompasses the Red Dog Gravity Downhill, which we've been seeing, the Searchlight Gravity Dual Slalom, we'll see a little bit later, and this, a specially designed criterium. The criterium incorporates elements of BMX cross-country, freestyle aerials up and over the jumps, and the traditional criterium racing 4-man motos. In this case, 4-woman motos, and it was a difficult course.
It was very difficult, David. Kim Dow led after the first lap, but Kim Vanderside came on strong, showing her endurance in the dirt criterium, along with Jen Klisch. Kim Vanderside went on to win after the third lap. She took it all the way. Jen Klisch came in second. Emily Goss took third, and Kim Dow took fourth. In the men's final Pro Grit Dirt Criterium, it was Nick Fide, Leo Salazar, Scott Hart, Tom Ways, Alex Morgan, and Briley Joy. Great racing here. Same format, 3 laps. Nick Fide got the early lead, and he kept it all the way, Dave.
It's a really big 4-man moto. In fact, there's a couple more racers in there, and they're pumping handlebars and alongside the fence. This is really good for the spectators, right alongside the Bike Expo, then in and out of the buildings where you buy your lift tickets during the winter, and you can see the tabletop bumps and the whoop-de-doos. Pretty exciting for everyone.
It was very demanding for the competitors, Dave. These guys had to go up the steep part of this Searchlight Hill all the way to the top. A lot of these guys had to get off their bikes and run their bikes up to the top of the course, as you'll see Nick Fide doing here. Everyone had to run up. There's about 200 yards, then it's back down into a hairpin, and then over another jump, and that's just 1 lap. It's a tough course, but Nick Fide was on his game today. Basically, it was a race for second with Scott Hart and Leo Salazar.
Here's a look at Ian Nick Fide, 22 years old, Austin, Texas, how he dominated the dirt criterium. He's been mountain bike racing 2 years, racing as a professional for 2 years, and his specialty is cross country, and it shows here. And his background, track and road racing, boy, does he have a set of legs on him.
As you saw right there, Dave, that was Leo Salazar and Scott Hart fighting it out for second, but Nick Fide, way in front of the field, took the win. He moved into first in the overall standings. Congratulations to Nick Fide. Scott Hart came on to overtake Alex Morgan, and he took second place. Our final results in the dirt criterium: Nick Fide took first, Scott Hart second, Alex Morgan, and Leo Salazar.
Steve, another popular competition this weekend was the ATI California State Observed Trials Championships. This event is a complete change of pace to the hair-raising 50-plus mile-per-hour Red Dog downhill, but the competition is just as intense. The riders are asked to negotiate the course or sections without touching the ground with their feet or dabbing. What they pull off is insane. It's slow, precise, with cat-like balance. Here's some of the highlights.
And after 2 days of competition, Kenny Straub took first, Aaron Faust took second, and Matt Thomas took third. We had a chance earlier in the day to talk with Aaron Martin, the event producer.
How about the future of this event?
Well, the future, obviously, I think we're looking for it to get real big. I'd like to see it be the biggest mountain bike festival in the world, and we'll see in the next couple years if we actually get to pull that out.
Congratulations on to a very successful weekend, and best of luck in the future.
Thanks a lot.
Well, so far it's been a great weekend. Saturday afternoon set up the Micro Brew Fest, where micro breweries from around the area showed their wares. Everybody had a great time at this Brew Fest. It was a good time. Everybody got brewed up and were ready for the nighttime dual slalom. This is a lot like the pro skiing dual slalom. One red course, one blue course, dual format. Was a great race. This is the finals. Nick Fide, Scott Hart, Dave.
Somewhat of a surprise here. Scott Hart making some good turns at the top. Problems right there. So Nick Fide out of Austin, Texas, who's known for his cross-country ability, former junior road racer and team pursuit rider, crossed the finish line first. Differential timing at the finish, well, the advantage 6:13. That's a big advantage on this very quick and fast course. Women's final second run, Jen Klisch with a 1.5 second advantage. Kim Dow, the slalom specialist, went down in her first run, and right now she is trailing. That's what happened on this course. So a surprise, the downhill racer, the bike mechanic of 8 years out of Oakland, California, 26-year-old Jen Klisch, women's pro slalom winner. After the time differential, it was Klisch.
So Klisch was the winner in the women's division dual slalom. Back to the top, men's. Nick Fide with a .613 advantage on that red course against Scott Hart in the blue. Scott's got to beat Nick by over .613 to win.
And it just wasn't going to happen. Nick Fide, couple of good turns, letting it all hang out. Very rocky, very slippery and fast. One hand up in the air, cross the finish. He wins the criterium during the day and the dual slalom at night.
So final results in the dual slalom women's, Jen Klisch, Kim Dow, and Kim Vanderside. The men's, it was Nick Fide over Scott Hart, Leo Salazar, and Danny Martinez.
There's good news for the competition.
I hear Ford's clearance is in its final days. It's about time.
Ford's factory authorized clearance is almost over. It's your last chance to get $1,500 cash back on Windstar and Aerostar.
$1,500 cash back.
That's $1,500 cash back on Aerostar and Windstar. Factory authorized clearance ends soon, so see your participating Ford dealer now.
Remember the day when you were finally this tall? Suddenly you had the freedom to go places you never could before. The sky was the limit, but it was always more fun to go there with a friend. That's why Southwest Airlines brought back Friends Fly Free. Just buy a ticket at our full unrestricted fare, and a friend flies with you free.
Wanna go again?
Southwest Airlines.
Welcome back to Squaw Valley, California. Steve Moss along with David Stanfield, and we're here at the 9th Annual Tahoe Fat Tire Festival. We're set to go with our semifinals, heat number 1. We've got Craig Raza, Jason Warren, Leo Salazar, and Nick Fide. It's going to be a good race, David.
An interesting race. 2 experts and 2 pros. Remember the 1 expert, Jason Warren, out of Fremont, California, second fastest qualifier. In fact, out of these 4, he is the fastest qualifier. Leo Salazar, the number 3 qualifier. But again, Jason Warren, his first race as an expert, has been doing very well, but he's up against Nick Fide, Leo Salazar, 2 seasoned pros.
All right, Nick Fide's in the lead with Craig Raza and Leo Salazar into turn 1. All 4 are packed in here together going into turn 2. Still Nick Fide, Leo Salazar, Craig Raza, and Jason Warren.
Now, there's really not team tactics out there, but we've seen since the round of 16, Nick Fide and Leo Salazar in every heat together. And they don't care if they get first or second, really. They just want to advance. And this is another one of those, get first or second and just advance into the finals. And take a look at a great style for Nick Fide. Great handling, bike handling skills through Papoose, and now on the Red Dog Traverse at speed.
So Nick Fide is leading right now, but we just learned that Jason Warren went down in turn 4, so this is a 3-man moto, Dave.
Here they are at speed, traversing the Red Dog Ridge. It's Nick Fide out of Austin, Texas, leading Leo Salazar in green out of San Jose, California, and in third, Craig Raza. Now, just like in auto racing, these guys on the straightaways, that's where they do their braking. You can't really brake in the turn, and testing the suspension are the water bars. Here they come into Heidi's hairpin.
Nick had a chance to tell us the dangers of Red Dog.
The dangers on this course is it's really rocky and really loose, so you can really slide out easily on a corner and lose control and lose really precious time right there. So really the main concern is being careful with braking before the corner and just gaining control throughout the corners. So I think you can gain more time almost slowing down a little bit more than just going all out through a corner.
Well, turn 6 right back there was a big turn. Everybody's had problems. That's where a lot of passing has gone on, Dave, as has this steep upgrade that they have to pedal real hard.
Dead Man's Gully into turn number 7. Definitely when you think downhill, you don't think pedaling, but here they have a different kind of a test, especially at this altitude, over 6,000 feet. And here comes Leo Salazar.
Both. Nick Fide says me, number 1 right there, but both of them, if they advance, will make it into the finals. So really it's a 1-2 cat and mouse game here, Dave, because as long as they both advance, they're in the finals.
Round turn number 8 onto Easy Street. Turn number 9, a right-hander called the Fingers, below KT22. Let's see how they handle that. Plenty of turn to take an inside line or an outside line. And look at that rough inside line both of them are taking.
Leo Salazar is behind Nick Fide. Salazar has won every heat all day long. Let's see how he plays it. Right here you get a good chance to see the speed they're going through as they approach KT22 chicane.
And the helicopter's trying to keep up with them. From the chicane they go to the single track, and Salazar has been very aggressive on the single track. Will he attempt to move or say, hey, second place, I'm going to advance into the finals? And it looks like it's going to be Nick Fide leading the charge. One more turn, Searchlight Bend. And again, it's Nick Fide and his first win.
So Nick Fide takes that heat. Leo Salazar takes second. Craig Raza, Jason Warren have to wait another day. Next heat, second heat, semifinals is Danny Martinez, Alex Morgan, Tom Ways, and Mike Galata. It's going to be a good race. You got Martinez, Morgan, and Ways. All 3 have raced very well today. They all have wins.
Yes, indeed. Danny Martinez, 2 wins. Tom Ways, 2 wins. And for Alex Morgan, the expert with the 5th fastest qualifying time out of Albuquerque, New Mexico, he gets the whole shot wearing red.
He's got the hole. Danny Martinez second, Galata third, and Tom Ways is in 4th, but he's taking an inside track in turn 1 and takes the lead, Dave.
Local boy, fastest qualifier, blitzes the top section of the course. Out of the gravity start into the first couple of turns, there's Troublemaker, turn number 3 coming up, followed by Papoose, turn number 4. Take a look at his technique.
Tom Ways has taken an outside line every time he's taken turn 4. Let's see if he does it again. Danny Martinez is tracking him at second place, and Ways is way out there. Earlier today, I had a chance to talk with Tom about his philosophies on attacking this course.
I think you're really going to have to attack on top. Try to really get out front, really work the upper turns, and not be afraid to really pedal hard in the middle section where there's a little bit of pedaling and a little bit of a rise, kind of a hill. If you really are willing to go hard and really work for it, I think you can definitely be successful here.
Well, tough luck for him. A slight mistake, and Danny Martinez has taken over the lead. He goes wide in that turn, so he's got to be cautious in braking.
You know, Danny said one thing. He said, I like to go all out and get in front and let people eat dust. But when we had a chance to talk with him, he said something different.
Well, this is actually a course that you should be cautious on. You're going to do better if you're cautious, because if you go wide out, you're just going to shoot off the course. So you'll actually have a better time if you take it a little. If you go 80% instead of 100%, you're going to end up faster.
Looks like he's going about 99% right now. Lead being pressured by the fastest qualifier, Danny Martinez. The 8th fastest qualifier, looking very good, very strong, but really hanging it out to stay in front of Tom Ways.
So Dead Man Gully's got Danny Martinez's number. Tom Ways is trying to catch up to Danny. I don't think he'll do it. Martinez has always been very good in the flats, and he's going to let it run. He said no brakes. See what happens.
Tom Ways, 25 years old, Tahoe City, California. Danny Martinez, 25 years old, Woodacre, California. Both very experienced at mountain bike racing at speed in the downhill, and right now Martinez pulls out a decent-sized lead. But take a look at Tom Ways to the inside. Take a look at that inside line he's going to take, and...
Oh, he has a little too much speed. Bumps. Danny Martinez both stay up, so now it's just a pedal to the finish, Dave.
And Danny's looking over like, okay, fine, I'll take second, but this is not the final, it's the semifinal.
So Tom Ways is leading. Danny Martinez looks back, and here comes Alex Morgan, and Jason Warren is back in the picture, but he's pretty far back in 4th place, so it looks like Martinez and Tom Ways will advance to the finals, Dave.
Steve, I feel there's a little bad blood going on right now between Tom Ways and Danny Martinez. Just the small bumping going on right now. And I think we're going to have a pretty exciting final.
It could be a good final. Let's take a look at it again, this bump. Tom Ways, too much speed, bumps Danny. And, you know, it's amazing both of them stayed up as slick as this course is.
An amazing inside turn, a pass block in the motocross world, and a pass block in terms of mountain biking. Final results, quite surprising.
So Tom Ways takes first, Danny Martinez. Those two will move on to our finals. When we return, it's the Red Dog Gravity Finals from Squaw Valley.
Professional hair care means only one thing. Paul Mitchell, sold in salons at the hands of a professional stylist.
Because nothing but the best will meet a hairstylist's standard of quality, and you won't find that in any drugstore.
No one but a stylist knows more about hair or what's right for yours.
You know, every hairstylist's hands have the power to communicate without words, and if you listen very closely, you'll get the message.
By the real Paul Mitchell.
Squaw Valley, California. We're set to go with the finals, the men's finals of the 9th annual Tahoe Fat Tire Festival. Before we go racing, let's take a look at what happened in our women's division. The women's final, Kim Dow, Jen Klisch, Kim Vanderside, and Paige Lambert went head-to-head in the women's Red Dog Downhill final.
Kim Vanderside out of Tahoe City, California was up against Paige Lambert out of Reno, Nevada. Kim Dowd out of Nevada City, California. And Jen Klisch, Oakland, California. With the hole shot, though, injured rider Paige Lambert, riding for Motherlode Bike Shops. She was really apprehensive at the start, hyperventilating, just way too anxious and nervous, and sure enough, she pulls the hole shot. Quite a surprise.
She was very nervous, Dave. She has a broken collarbone. She's riding with an injury, but she's way out in front like she has no injury. And in these turns here, you've got to use course management and use your brakes. She's really way out in front of Jen Klisch and Kim Vanderside.
Well, at this point, it doesn't look like it, but it's difficult to brake under control. As they come into some of these high-speed turns like Troublemaker and Papoose, it's very difficult.
Oh, Paige Lambert goes down right there, got outside. It's very tricky in that area, opening the door for Jen Klisch.
And for Jen Klisch, she says she's crazy enough to do the high-speed stuff and skilled enough to do the low-speed stuff. She loves the sensation of downhill racing. She says it's the closest thing to flying. And riding for Battle Mount Bikes and Ritzy Racing, Jen Klisch, 26 years old, Oakland, California, come from behind victory.
So Jen Klisch takes the win. Kim Vanderside takes second. Let's take a look at that replay again. Definitely Paige Lambert had the lead by at least 30 yards, and she got outside in the soft stuff and went down. David is with our winner, Jen Klisch.
Congratulations, Jennifer. From what we saw, you didn't have the lead all the way, but the most important thing is crossing the finish line first. Take us through that run.
Well, I think the neat thing about a four-person start is that it involves a lot of strategy and experience. Paige Lambert got a really good start. She's a really strong rider. She got a great start, took the lead right away, but got really hot in the first turn, and you know, just lack of experience. She got really excited and got out there and just crashed.
Tell us about this Red Dog Gravity Downhill. In the future, will this be a famous event?
Yeah, I hope in the future that more people come out here.
Best of luck.
Thank you.
All right, congratulations to Jen Klisch, Kim Vanderside, Kim Dow, and tough luck for Paige Lambert. That is your finals in the women's Gravity Downhill. We're set to go with our Red Dog Gravity Downhill. We've got 4 fast riders, Dave. It's going to be a great race.
Our finals shape up to be a magnificent race for the locals. Well, you got to look to the local hero. The fastest qualifier, number 9, Tom Ways. He's been pushed around the last few heats. He needs a hole shot and to get in front immediately. Danny Martinez, bike number 11. He's fast and very aggressive. He's not afraid to mix it up at speed. Give him room. Nick Fide, he's already accomplished his goals this weekend. He won the Criterium and last night's dual slalom, and by making it into the downhill finals, he's the overall champion. He doesn't need to win this race. Which brings us to Leo Salazar, bike number 8, third fastest qualifier. He has the desire and self-confidence, and he's shown some amazing speed on the lower portion of the course. I believe he'll let it all hang out for this race.
All right, let's get to the top. Our Red Dog Gravity Downhill is ready to go. All right, 4 of the top finalists. These guys know how to race. Danny Martinez, Leo Salazar, Tom Ways, and Nick Fide. This is going to be a drag race.
In green, the hole shot. Leo Salazar out of San Jose, California, wearing black. That's Danny Martinez in second. Nick Fide on the outside. Fide pushing for second. In 4th spot, it is the local hero, the fastest qualifier. That is Tom Ways. Tom Ways taking a strange inside line. Really likes to cut the corner, just about overtaking Salazar, but now he's holding off. It's Salazar, Ways, Fide, and Martinez. All 3 abreast coming in, battling for second. Ways moves into second.
Ways second, Nick Fide third. Here comes Martinez. Turn 4, very critical. How will they handle it? Ways always goes outside. Let's see if he does it again.
Slippery Papoose, Tom Ways just about clips Salazar's back tire and goes off in the Toolies.
Ways way outside. Now it's Nick Fide and Salazar. That was a bad mistake by Tom Ways. He's taking it outside every time. That one cost him, David.
A gift for Leo Salazar, the 26-year-old out of San Jose, California, a mountain biker in the summer. He works for Fox Racing in the winter. Oh, Nick Fide has taken over the lead. Some big pedal power by Nick Fide, our overall champion guaranteed today, and I didn't think he'd have it in him to go for the lead in the downhill.
Nick Fide has been playing cat and mouse with Leo Salazar. Salazar and Nick have raced 3 times. Salazar took 2 wins. Fide had 1. I'm amazed he's out in front, Dave, as you are. Nick Fide pushing hard. Leo Salazar right on him. Tom Ways right behind him. Great final.
And you can't count out Martinez. He's got some speed as well, although he's eating some dust. Braking, heavy braking right here. It's Fide, Salazar, and Tom Ways really slows up, and Martinez hits him.
Martinez hits Tom Ways, and it looks like Tom Ways has a rear tire problem. That's going to cost him. Seriously, yeah, you can see it right there. Looks like he's got a flat, but Nick Fide, Leo Salazar, battling it out in the Gulch area. It's a heavy pedal. Who is going to make it to the finish?
Dead Man's Gully, a little turn 7, uphill traverse, and you've got to have the legs, and right now, Nick Fide feels like he's got this race fairly wrapped up, the 22-year-old out of Austin, Texas. But watch out, here comes Leo Salazar. He looks over his shoulder. He sees Leo Salazar, gives maybe a thumbs up. Salazar tries the outside. Nick Fide still maintaining its speed. He looks over his shoulder again, and he's passed by Salazar on the right-hand side. And Salazar looks back, says, thank you very much.
So it's a cat and mouse game. Who'll make it down to the finish? Leo Salazar wants it badly. So does Nick Fide. Nick Fide hadn't had that much downhill training. Salazar's a wild man. Could be a big-time race to the finish, Dave.
Back on the pedals they go. Nick Fide going to keep Leo Salazar honest. Out of turn 9, the fingers into KT22 chicane. Then comes the single track, and that's where you really hang it out, and that's where Salazar has been shining all day long. Nobody has the guts or the speed to keep up with Salazar on this program, on this part of the course. It is unbelievable.
Salazar carrying a lot of speed down in the single track. Nick Fide as well, but Leo Salazar is going to be our Red Dog Gravity winner today. Congratulations, Leo Salazar. Nick Fide, great racing. He takes second. Danny Martinez takes third, and Tom Ways rounds out the top 4. Great racing action today at the Red Dog Gravity Downhill. Leo Salazar over Nick Fide. David Stanfield's with our winner.
Leo, congratulations. You showed confidence from right off. Take us through that great run.
Thanks, Dave. Well, right out of the gate, I hole shotted it, and I just left it wide open. Turned around, and everybody was just right there, and I thought I had dropped them, and they weren't. And so came out of there, going real fast, and then Nick passed me with the big power he has. And so I said, okay, don't try to go past him. Sat in behind him and just drafted him, and then it came down the fast section. I just dove on the right of him, and then from there on, I just left it wide open and said no brakes.
Congratulations.
Thanks a lot.
So Leo Salazar, our big winner in the downhill. Our men's overall standings, Nick Fide over Leo Salazar and Danny Martinez. Dave is with Nick.
How do you feel about the overall Gravity Series and this Gravity Championship?
I think this Gravity Championship is great. This is a great series. I think we're going to see more stage racing of mountain bikes. I like to think of myself as a cross-country racer. I hope in the future I can excel in that discipline of mountain biking a little more than I have. I have been getting some good results to myself. But I think stage racing, in a sense, from mountain biking is going to get a lot bigger in the future, and I think the Gravity Gods is an excellent start to this whole discipline of mountain biking.
Congratulations. Back to you, Steve.
Today's 9th annual Tahoe Fat Tire Festival has been brought to you in part by Paul Mitchell Professional Salon Products, by Airwalk Footwear, hotel accommodations for cast and crew were provided by the Flamingo Hilton in Reno. With over 605 luxurious rooms, gaming 24 hours a night, and rated #1 in Reno, the American Superstars. A great show at the Flamingo Hilton in Reno. When in Reno, why not stay at the Flamingo Reno? Transportation provided by Advantage Rent-A-Car, the rising star in rent-a-car. Air cargo provided by Southwest Airlines Air Cargo, when overnight is not good enough. Congratulations to Leo Salazar and the rest of our competitors here at the first Red Dog Gravity Downhill. For David Stanfield, I'm Steve Moss saying we'll see you next year at the Tahoe Fat Tire Festival from Squaw Valley, California.